Nations of Hockey event is back, featuring 6 new Master Set players, over 80 international cards, all stemming from the World Juniors. We've got our new 86 overall free Advent Calendar player, as well as some of the most insane packs that I've ever seen in the store. Let's get into it. So let's begin with our 6 new Master Set players, all big-name players in the NHL representing their World Junior runs. Kicking off the Master Set players, again coming in at 89 overall, is Czechia's David Pastrnak. He's got Sniper Forward as well as Shooting Boost and Agile Dangler Boost at 6'1", 195, with Gold Schneip, Silver 1T, and Silver Puck on a string. A very fun offensive card. Checking in with 93 speed, acceleration, and agility, as well as the combo of Sniper Forward and Shooting Boost, which will essentially max out his shot. His hand stats are all very strong as well. However, defensively, he's a complete liability. Again, this card is more meant to represent the World Junior version of David Pastrnak. Nonetheless, still an extremely fun-looking card, and another great option at the high end of the game for right-handed wingers. Leaf fans, you got your guy, the 89 overall William Nylander, 6'2", 204, with Playmaking Forward as well as Playmaking Boost or Shooting Boost. I would definitely recommend Shooting Boost over Playmaking Boost. However, if you are able to activate both, his hand stats are almost all at 99. He does come with 94 speed, 94 acceleration, and the synergy combo will max out his agility, which kind of nullifies the extreme use of gold elite edges. That said, he's got a very good wrist shot at 93 overall, and much like David Pastrnak, his defense rating are what take the biggest hit here. He's got Silver Make It Snappy and Tape to Tape. The only issue with this William Nylander card is that for 25% of the cost, you can go get his Global Series card, which will have 2 less speed and acceleration, but also give you Silver Unstoppable Force and Silver Elite Edges with Gold Make It Snappy and essentially 99 hand stats. He also comes with much better defensive awareness and roughly the same checking attributes. So something to consider if you're dead set on getting a Nylander card. I would much rather have this Global Series version. Next from Switzerland, we've got the 89 overall Timo Meier, 6'1", 220, and they definitely leaned into that power forward build. He's got power forward as well as checking boost and shooting boost, but he also has gold unstoppable force, silver close quarters, and silver truculence. He's an absolute menace on the forecheck. Honestly, power forward is one of my least favorite build synergies. On top of that, it was kind of hard to activate, but since the captain's event, there's like 20 decent power forward cards now, that it might not be out of the realm of possibility that you can actually get this activated. However, even without truculence, he's got 95 body checking if you're able to get checking boost activated, a good wrist shot at 93 overall, and decent speed at 92, speed and acceleration, with great balance and endurance if you have synergies activated. Just an all-around very good build. From Team USA, we've got the 89 overall John Gibson, 6'2", with defensive boost as well as checking boost or playmaking boost. Honestly, kind of weak double synergy combo for a goaltender. In my opinion, you'd want to look for like Speed Burst or something that is a little bit more difficult to activate but extremely sought after. Ability combo is almost perfect. Gold Showstopper, which will help with the fatigue of making saves and not having your guy lose energy and go into a desperation state. He's also got Silver Instincts. I talked about this in a prior video, that during the beta, this is one of the most broken abilities. It's not just when you're user controlling a goaltender, it's also your AI goaltender as well. It has improved save range, recovery, and save ability while performing anticipation saves. If he was over 6'4", this would be a endgame goalie, essentially. But as it stands, he's still 6'2". That doesn't mean he's completely useless. It just means that cards like the next-gen Bedard that has 99 accuracy and power on a shot can kind of pick him apart upstairs. From Team Canada, we finally get a right-handed defenseman. However, he's extremely one-dimensional. He's got offensive defenseman as well as playmaking boost and defensive boost. At 5'10", 180, he's already a defensive liability, but he's got 75 body checking and 85 defensive awareness. This is like a speedy winger card that you're going to have to put on the back end. Gold Thunderclap is fun, as is Silver 1T, and Elite Edges definitely has its usefulness on a defender. At 92 speed and acceleration, in my opinion, it's just not fast enough to justify putting in a player that is never going to get the puck back for you. He's almost got a max shot, which is fun. I would have loved to see Seeing Eye or maybe Heat Seeker which is a much more common shot type from the point in NHL 24. But even then, he's got 85 deking. Like, I can appreciate what they're trying to do here, just not it. And then lastly, we've got the 89 Alexander Barkov, 6'3", 215 with two-way forward as well as playmaking boost and defensive boost. Gold, no contest, yoink, and big rig. If you weren't able to get the Hut Champs Eric Lindros, this is a great alternative. Even if you did get him, he would still be a strong option for you. He has a great face-off rating, even without two-way forward activated at 90 overall. You could go with defensive boost and boost it even more. However, again, the issue lies in the fact that it's very mediocre stats and the ones that matter kind of across the board. 91 speed and acceleration at 89 overall. It's okay. It's just not worth an extreme amount of investment for a Master Set player. On top of that, his body checking is only 80 overall, and while this is meant to represent his World Junior career, just obviously kind of hurts his impact in game. And then his abilities, while no contest has its place, Yoink and Big Rig are among some of the worst. However, we've waited a while for a very good Alexander Barkov card, and this is that. Now, returning with the Nations of Hockey event is the upgradable Master Set players. So much like the events before the Captain's event, you will now be able to upgrade your card at your own pace to get him all the way up to his 89 overall. Now, this will cost you 12 power-up collectibles, and as we are getting into the middle stages of the game, there are a lot of cards that demand quite a few power-up collectibles. That said, if you want to try out a Master Set player, remember that you can pay the 10,000 coins as well as throw in a power-up collectible in Tier 3 and Tier 4, and then refund it, get the full power-up collectible back, costing you half of the $10,000 investment, so you would get 5,000 coins back, but at least you would be able to test the card at 85 overall. So just something to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to your objectives for the Nations of Hockey event, this is a 2-week event. So week 1's objectives give you a whole slew of rewards. Starting first, scoring 10 goals in any mode with any player will get you an 83 Jordan Schroeder, which is a massive throwback. 30 shots with any Nations of Hockey player. So, for example, with the Schroeder that you unlock here, we'll get you a mini NHL Players Pack. Assists with any Nations of Hockey player, 45 of them will get you an Elite Pack. 70 games in Rivals, Squad Battles, and Champs with one or more players from the Nations of Hockey event will get you a Nations of Hockey collectible, which you can use to make a Master Set player. More on that in just a minute. And then it's the traditional complete 140 games, 210, and 280. Finally, open 7 daily rewards will net you a final objective complete. In all, from week 1, this will net you 5 power-up collectibles, which is almost halfway to a free Master Set player. If you head over to the Nations of Hockey moments, there is a moment for each of the Master Set players, giving you a varying number of rewards. However, the Ryan Ellis moment will get you a power-up collectible, as will the David Pastrnak moment, which would net you 7 total power-up collectibles from week 1 of this event, or just over half of the 12 required. Now, it does appear the new Hut Rush rewards are completely broken and no one is receiving their packs for completing it. Throughout the reward list, you will get a few lower overall Nation of Hockey cards, like Erland Lesund, the 82 overall card, but again, those are just going to be used to help you complete the objectives as they will stack, like games played. If you have 10 Nations of Hockey cards in your lineup, playing one game of Squad Battles, Rivals, or Champs will net you 10 towards that objective. You'll get another event collectible at Tier 11, a Matt Zuccarello at 84 overall at Tier 15, and then finally at Tier 20 for 1,000,000 Hut Rush points, you will get 2 more event collectibles. Unfortunately, no power-up collectibles in this list, so it does look like for the no money spent players, 7 is the total power-up collectibles that you can get from week 1. Now, on to the Nations of Hockey event sets. Much like all of the events prior to the Captain's event, each one of the Master Set players will only take 1 Nations of Hockey event collectible to make that 82 overall Master Set player that you can then upgrade. Remember, if you want to complete all the objectives very quickly, if you were to require 3 or 4 of these Nations of Hockey event collectibles, you can just grab as many of the Master Set players for 1 event collectible each and throw those into your lineup and do rookie squad battles, for example. And then we've also got the week 1 random Nations of Hockey player set. For 5 Nations of Hockey event collectibles, you will get a random untradeable current World Junior player. However, remember, these event collectibles are going for about 4,000 coins each, meaning that you're throwing in about 20,000 coins in value for potentially an 82 overall card. So, buyer beware there. They've also brought back the World Junior mechanic that has been in the game for quite some time. However, it is much more expanded in NHL 24. Whatever country that wins gold, players from that country will go up +3 overall. If they get silver, +2, and getting bronze will will bump all of their cards up +1 overall. Yes, that's not just the cards on this banner. Every single card that country received for a current World Junior player. Now, since there is 80 players that were added, it is best to just go through the countries if you are looking for one specifically, as what they've done is basically added in every single card that they had the player rights to. So most of the Canadian World Junior players play in the CHL, which they have the rights to use, so every single player received a card. And obviously, Team Canada is a medal favorite, so all of these cards can go up in value. It also gives you the opportunity to run a cool team build. The big glaring omission is Macklin Celebrini. Collegiate players are still not in the NHLPA, so there is no way to get their rights or their ability to use their likeness in game, which is still a big issue, because the only players they're allowed to use for Team USA is Carey Terrence and Gavin Hayes. I've seen Carey Terrence play quite a bit in the OHL. Very good player. But obviously for this event, it means that Team USA is going to be severely lacking in players. Team Sweden is well represented with a number of highly rated NHL prospects, including the Sharks' first-round pick Philip Bystead, Noah Ostlund, Liam Ogren, and Jonathan Lekermäki. Even Mattias Havelid, another Sharks pick, has developed quite nicely. Sweden could do very well at this year's event. I want to be very clear here that every time that this event comes up, players will buy up all of the Canadian players or US players with the hopes that they are going to win gold. And while that will net you some pretty good value, don't expect to make a ton of coins, because everyone does this. And the second that the gold medal is handed out, the players go up in value. Everyone floods the market with all of them. That's the one issue with this event, is that everyone collects cards, not with the thought of using them when they upgrade, but to sell them. And when everyone has that same idea, well, there's just a massive supply and not that much of a demand. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about trying to make a ton of coins from this event. It happens every single year. All right, on to the store. We've got to talk about some of these packs. The first up is the Advent Calendar pack. We've got our third player, and it turned out to be a really good one. Again, following the Christmas theme, we got the 86 Mark Bell, 6'4", 220, with 89 speed, acceleration, 88 agility, 90 balance, and 88 endurance. He's got sniper forward as well as checking boost. His shot is pretty rough at 87 overall, and that's with sniper forward activated. Big rig is pretty pointless, but gold total eclipse. We finally get another card that gets gold total eclipse. And why this is such an interesting ability, I made a YouTube short on it just a little while ago. When you are screening a goaltender with someone that is using gold total eclipse, the icon will light up under that player, meaning that you will know 100% when you take a shot that that goalie is in a screen state. On top of that, Mark Bell's got 94 body checking with checking boost activated, and 90 face-offs, like an actually really usable card at 86 overall. Extremely excited to try him out on my team. All right, next is this thing, the Double X Factor Player Pack. 20 players, 2 guaranteed X Factors at 90,000 coins. Everyone is going to be tempted to buy this pack. And in all honesty, it's pretty good value, but I fell for the trap. Here is the only situation in which I would recommend using coins to buy this pack. If you have a third X Factor that you are willing to trade in for another choice pack. We are getting to the stage of the game where Team of the Year is about to happen, and having a powered up Connor McDavid so that you can trade him in for a discount is a pretty big advantage. But remember that it's only a massive advantage and discount if you've already upgraded Connor McDavid up to this point. You're not really saving much if you've got to throw 15 power-up collectibles now into getting him to that discount. That being said, it's still worth doing if you are in that situation. I did it, and I got kicked squarely in the stones. So, again, buyer beware. I would not recommend doing this at all if you have Connor McDavid's X Factor, or if you don't have a third one that you can do another choice set with. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, guys, is that on Christmas Day, we will get our highest rated free Advent player. Usually, they match the overall of the event, so I would expect an 89 overall player for free. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I will have a video going over who I would recommend you take. It is usually a choice pack, and they usually have some very strong options in there, so stay tuned for that video. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.